read all that crap.
Here we go. Three, two, one. Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network. Great to have you with us on the program today. As mentioned, our guest is Charles Bode. He's a certified mold inspector, certified mold contractor, also a certified environmental inspector, state certified to teach realtors on toxic mold. He routinely works for Fannie Mae, other top lenders. He's also an experienced waterproofer and structural repair analyst. Charles has developed multiple proprietary waterproofing techniques. He's an author, inventor, developed the popular Bio3 Blaster product line, as well as the OxyGreen carpet and duct sanitizing machine and others. For the last several years, has helped others start their own successful businesses using his equipment and training systems. I give you all of that because this guy is an expert in a number of areas. He's an inventor. He's on the program to talk about some very important topics today, including how you can tie all of his products into a business for yourself. Charles, welcome to This Week in America. Great to have you with us.
Oh, good afternoon, Rick. Great to be with you.
Well, I read all that and I feel pretty inferior after going through all of your credentials there. But I want to, so many of the products you're dealing with are so important to us environmentally and in terms of safety in our home and that type of thing. And I want to start off by talking about an ozone generator. That's something that you talk a lot about in your website. You feature on your website, which, by the way, is bestozonemachines.com. Tell me about an ozone generator and what it does.
Well, sure. Many years ago, I became a mold remediator, and in my first 6 months doing certified mold cleanups, I discovered that the products that are sold to contractors, in many cases, were actually poisonous to the people and ineffective at killing the mold. And so I began scouring the world looking for things that I could do to implement a better mold remediation protocol, which I developed. And among them was a protocol developed by scientists at Los Alamos National Laboratory that featured ozone gas. And what they basically proved at Los Alamos Gas was if you wanted to do a decontamination of a building that had been contaminated by a spore-based pathogen like mold or anthrax or something nasty, you'd have to fill up the space at the end of your cleanup protocols with a gas. And they recommended you use a gas that was made from the atmospheric air in the building, and it was converted directly through a machine called an ozone generator. And basically, ozone gas is gaseous hydrogen peroxide. It's or the equivalent, and it kills viruses, bacteria, mold spores, and then it absolutely destroys volatile organic compounds or VOCs, and it eliminates nearly any odor on Earth.
Well, and all these toxins you're talking about can really, in some cases, they even can be fatal to us, can't they?
Well, sure, and in modern buildings, most of them today rely on some sort of forced air system, either for heating or cooling. And forced air systems are sort of like the lungs of the building, and in in virtually every case, over time they'll accumulate some form of dirt and detritus on the sidewalls of the air ducts, and then those things will accumulate pathogens, viruses, mold, bacteria, spores. And ozone is one of the few gases that's capable of combating all of those things in one shot or application.
Charles Bode is our guest on This Week in America. His website is bestozonemachines.com. Charles, let's talk a little bit about what you did in developing ozone machines and how you've actually taken that and turned it into business opportunities for a number of people all across the country.
Sure, Rick. Well, in developing the first green mold remediation protocol in the country, I was forced to innovate because what I discovered that existed didn't work. And so ozone gas was a large part of that technology. And over the years, I had the opportunity to work with all the commercially available equipment out there, and I found it all to be wanting. So I took apart all my old broken ozone generators, and I had dozens of them, and they were made by dozens of different manufacturers. And in taking them all apart, I discovered many fatal flaws, and I basically built at first the better ozone generator, one that was a real rugged, super high output machine capable of working in the real world. And then later we began developing other equipment around it. I was asked to develop a system to kill bed bugs, so I developed a green bed bug system and process protocol that I have pest control operators and apartment building owners around the country using. I've developed systems for odor removal where a mom and pop can take one of my odor removal businesses in a box out, practice using the machines on their house, and start putting real cash back into their pocket in days, not weeks. I developed a system for more dyed-in-the-wool contractors who are looking to offer a service to sanitize and deodorize doctors' offices and daycare centers and nursing homes, called Get Sanitized. And I developed a better mold remediation protocol, and I've been certifying and training contractors for years how to follow in my footsteps, copy my process patented mold remediation technique, and to achieve the same kind of results that I get. And in fact, I've even taught lots of homeowners that are suffering from real world mold problems how to treat their own mold by following my all natural mold removal system.
If somebody is looking for a business opportunity and they're listening and they are saying, I understand the market is there. Literally, you can drive down the street and find markets on both sides of the street. I don't know a whole lot about that. How difficult is it to get in the business using your machines?
Well, the great thing about the odor removal business and sanitizing model is there aren't very many competitors. Um, Many of my customers, when they open up and start doing their first treatments, find that they're the only contractor anywhere like them within 2, 3, 4, 5 hour driving radius. And so the market's wide open. The great part about my simple business systems is you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to have a college diploma. I have people that have never graduated high school making money, and I've got retired engineers making more money than they were as an engineer, working 15 to 20 hours a week, setting up and breaking down equipment. And in the odor removal business model, that's as difficult as the job ever gets. You drive out to the location, you set up the machines, you set the time on the timers, you turn them on, you come back 5 hours later, the machines are already turned off on their own. You put them back in your trunk and you move on to the next job. And your total time invested is 15 to 20 minutes, and you're able to collect anywhere from 150 to some cases $600-700 for the treatment.
Charles,
And
just because we're rapidly running out of time and so many interesting
sure.
phases to talk about. Charles Bode is our guest. His website is bestozonemachines.com. And you literally have seen people that have not spending a whole lot of time, but by using the machine, actually turn their lives around with the money they've been able to make.
Absolutely. I've got people using my business systems on 5 continents right now, and they're all making money using some variant of the technology applied either through one of my business systems or in conjunction with their existing business.
And again, to get information from Charles, go to bestozonemachines.com.
Sure.
This
If
is
you'd like to call me directly, Rick, my 800 number is 800-240-8514. 800-240-8514.
And that might be good to actually get a hold of Charles to talk with him. 800-240-8514. We will have that up on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. And of course, Charles' website is bestozonemachines.com. We will have Charles back on future programs to talk about a lot of the problems that he's been able to overcome. And when you talk about it, especially in dealing now, a lot of people are into getting a good deal on real estate with foreclosures. And I assume a foreclosure is a hotbed for problems, environmental problems, toxin problems.
Oh, Rick, for the last 13 years, the majority of my mold jobs have come as a result of this foreclosure frenzy. We've used our systems to treat not just mold, but many, many, many empty foreclosure properties have odor problems because of things that have been left behind to rot and decay. And houses that smell are hard to sell, apartments that smell are hard to rent, and cars that smell are hard to sell as well. And our equipment systems will take care of all of those simple odors very aggressively and very quickly.
Our guest is Charles Bode. His website is bestozonemachines.com, bestozonemachines.com. And you can talk to Charles direct at 800-240-8514. Charles, great to have you with us on This Week in America. Look forward to having you back, and thank you for your time and expertise. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Rick. I'd just like to ask people to click on the Start Your Business tabs if they're interested in the business systems. Thanks so much.
Perfect. Thank you. Again, bestozonmachines.com. You're listening to This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network. Thank you for listening.